The return of the Whispering Woods killer. It began with a scream that pierced the still night air. Deputy Maria Grant was the first to arrive at the scene, her breath catching as her flashlight illuminated the lifeless form of a young woman sprawled near the woods. Her throat was slit, her lifeless eyes staring into the void. Maria's stomach churned when she noticed the calling card, the same eerie symbol etched into the bark of a nearby tree, a jagged W, dripping with fresh blood. The Whispering Woods killer had returned. The town was thrown into chaos. Shops closed early, children were kept indoors, and every shadow seemed to hold a lurking menace. Sheriff Reed, who had led the investigation a decade ago, returned from his quiet retirement, his face lined with worry. He couldn't escape the gnawing guilt of never catching the monster who had stolen so much from the town. "This can't be the same person," Maria said, her voice trembling. "It's been 10 years, Sheriff. What if it's a copycat?" Sheriff Reed shook his head gravely. No copycat would know about the symbol. That was never released to the public. The town held its breath as the investigation unfolded. Forensic teams scoured the woods, but the killer had left no fingerprints, no footprints, just like before. The victims began piling up. A high school teacher found in her home, a mechanic dragged from his workshop. Each death was brutal, precise, and accompanied by that same bloody W. As the killings continued, a pattern emerged. The victims were all connected in subtle ways, friends of the families of the original victims. The killer was not just returning, they were continuing their work as if the 10-year gap had been nothing more than a pause. Maria spent sleepless nights poring over the old case files, searching for any clue they might have missed. One name kept appearing, a reclusive man named Victor Hensley, who had once been a suspect but was cleared due to a lack of evidence. He had disappeared shortly after the killings stopped.